Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here, back to make another video because Group A just declared. As expected, bright and early. So here are some of the highlights. TSLY number 1, 128, TSMY number 2, 80 cents, YBIT, YMAX, YMAG, and others. So again, they're not putting the percentages on here, which is, kind of useless. I always liked when they kind of ranked the top by percentage, but now they're just kind of listing, maybe just the big names that stick out. All right, so before we get to the spreadsheet, let's take a look at some dates that are important. So here's the distribution calendar, the schedule from their website, YieldMax website. So YMAX, YMAG, and Group A, they declared today, obviously, December 26th, as you can see. Ex-dividend date is 12/27, which is tomorrow, Friday. And then obviously payment date, we will have to wait, unfortunately, until next week. So on Monday, you'll get that payment. Some brokers actually reflect it over the weekend, which is pretty cool. I think Fidelity does. But either way, it should go into your account as cash on the Monday, the 30th. And again, a famous question is, if I buy it today, will I qualify for the distribution? The answer is yes. If you buy it within market hours and hold it until ex-dividend date, then yes, you should qualify for that distribution. Obviously, you could sell it on ex-dividend date and still qualify for that distribution. Why? Well, because at that point, the fund would have dropped by the amount of the distribution. So feel free to do as you please, right? All right, so that's for the dates, and now we'll actually get to the spreadsheet to see what the numbers look like. First up is TSLY. So they're going to pay $1.28, right? $1.28, 1.286. But let's go to the spreadsheet, 1.286. If we go to payment, plug that in, 1.286, 286.6, come on, there you go. All right, so if you look, well, the first payment was ridiculous. I guess the last two payments are kind of in line with one another. They paid $1.22 the last time, and now they're paying $1.28. But what's unusual about this time is they actually made $5.76 per share. So what does that mean? I am showing now a NAV reserve of $4.48. Obviously, yes, that's not final because more shareholders can buy into the fund today, as we just mentioned, that could qualify for the distribution. So the income per share should obviously most likely decrease, probably still be 5 and change. But either way, there's going to be a carry forward. As of right now, the credit carry forward shows to be 320 million, which is a lot, right? A lot. So, but we'll see what the final numbers are tomorrow. I'll have that for you tomorrow morning. But yeah, basically they're lowballing, man. They're lowballing, which is good though. The good part is, you're not getting a massive payment, but they're keeping the remainder in the NAV, right? To keep the appreciation going. And that way there's more money essentially in the fund to pay and make more money for the next distribution and so on. So I don't think there's anything to be upset about here. Obviously, it's cool to get the bigger distributions, but this is still over $1, right? For a fund that what the heck's the price of TSLY? $17.30, right? So that's still a massive payment. A fund that's $17 and it's paying over $1 per month. So anyway, let's go back to the spreadsheet. So yeah, $1.28, that turns into a yield of 96%. One thing I said, I'm like, I said they're going to pay a yield over 100%. It's pretty damn close, but I'm actually showing it's under 100% yield. That's surprising to me based on, the week that they have. Although they don't show the yields on the email anymore, so it's not kind of like a highlight for them maybe. But the website is, right? The websites show it. So, but either way, TSLY is paying $1.28. I thought they'd pay $1.65, but whatever. $1.28 is a 5.34% increase from the prior month, and it's a 96% yield. OARK, they declared they're going to pay 32 cents, which, it's a 29% decrease from the prior month, but it's a 38% yield. GUI, they're going to pay 63 cents. We know they had a great month, right? I thought they paid 48, but they're paying, even better. 63 cents, by the way, that's a 122% increase from the prior month, right? Talk about dividend raise. Here you go. 52% yield out of GUI. I mean, don't get your hopes up for this too often, but let's enjoy it while the ride is here, right? This obviously will help the YMAX payment too, right? Because it's in YMAX. All right, let's look at Zomo. Zomo, they're going to pay 24 cents. That's a cut. That's a 52% cut. So they cut their dividend in half. They're going to pay a 21% yield. YBIT, they declared 70 cents, which was kind of as expected. However, it is a decrease of 43% from the prior month or the 4-week cycle. And they're paying a 68% yield. SNOI, kind of as expected as well. Massive cut from the prior payment. But again, the prior payment was based on some, crazy jump in the price of the underlying due to earnings. But anyway, SNOI is going to pay 56 cents, which is a 38% yield. 66% decrease, though, from the prior month. TSMY, they're going to pay 80 cents. That's a 50% increase from the prior month, so that's pretty damn good. And that's a 51% yield. Crash is last up, and they're in line with the last payment. They're going to pay 37 cents. They paid 37 cents last month, so as expected, and that's a 79% yield, okay? Now, let's talk about house money, because TSLY paid. How close are they getting to house money? They are at 75%. So what does this mean? Basically, I take the price of TSLY from launch, and then I compare that to all of the distributions that they have paid per share, right? And I compare that to the launch price. And basically, they have paid out 75% of that launch price, okay? This is without dividend reinvestment, of course. It's with taking the distributions as cash. You would have gotten 75% of your original investment back. OARK, they paid back 57%. They're a little behind TSLY, but they're not as volatile for the most part, so they don't, not producing the same type of yields. But it's an ETF in an ETF, right? They're an ETF selling covered calls on an ETF. So it should, I really wish OARK was a better fund. Actually, what are they at? The current stock price is $11, but yeah, I mean, at least they didn't reverse split, right? All right, who else? No one really shines out. YBIT is 37%. GUI is 34%. Everyone's in the 20s or less. But yeah, nothing too spectacular. Also, YMAX and YMAG did declare. So let's go down here. And you go to YMAX and YMAG. We have it in the formula, because what I do is I basically just add the 4 payments under the same week 3 actual, right, data for them. So they're going to pay 24 cents. Again, that's for YMAX. So now let's go to YMAG. And YMAG is going to pay 17 cents, right? So what do we say? We said 24 and 17. Now, if we go over here, what did we show? We showed 27 and 19. All right, so that's kind of close. So it is, sort of what we'll say is as expected. Now, something to look at here, since inception of this 4-week cycle, I've been adding up the 4-week cycles for YMAX and YMAG. And since we're closing out the week, the 3rd cycle of it, let's look at YMAX. The first cycle, they paid 83 cents in total. Second, 82 cents. And third, 74 cents. So this cycle, again, this is for all 4 groups. This cycle had a decrease overall. But before that, they were kind of in line, 83, 82. Obviously, this is pretty much what they're going to pay per month, right? And then the actual yield, let's see. Does that take the AQ? Yeah, it's multiplied by 12. Actually, it should be, because there's going to be 13. So actually, it should be times 13. So let me fix that. because there's going to be 13 weekly cycles here. So let me fix this one too. Okay, there you go. All right, so the current yield I'm showing for YMAX is 59%. This is not based on just this week's payment. This is based on the prior 4 weeks payments, okay? Now let's look at YMAG. YMAG, the first cycle paid 71 cents, second cycle paid 68 cents, and this cycle paid 67 cents. So kind of as expected, their overall yield is 43%. But again, these funds have been performing pretty good, to be honest. If we look at their prices, wow, YMAG is at $20. That's amazing. YMAG obviously overall, has done very well keeping that NAV stable. YMAX not too bad because again they were in trouble for a while and now they're back. They're at 1785. But keep in mind YMAX, they got to deal with a lot of shit, right? There's a lot of shit funds in there. So YMAG just has the Mag 7, but that could also be like a downside, right? There's not as much volatility. They don't have like MSTY, so. There's the good and then there's the bad, of course. So now going back to Group A, obviously, since they paid, what is the estimate for YMAX and YMAG for next week? So if you look at row 12 and 13 under column BF, we have the YieldMax actual yield. That shows to be 52% overall for Group A. So then you kind of estimate that based on how many funds they own, and I'm coming up with a YMAX payment of 19 cents and a YMAG payment of 33 cents. Why? Well, who's in the YMAG, right? TSLY's in the YMAG, and GUI is in the YMAG. As you know, GUI had a massive payment. So since TSLY and GUI had really good payments this cycle, YMAG should be a pretty damn good payment next week. I'm not saying it's 33 cents. That's just what my data shows me, but it could be, in the 30-cent range. It should be, honestly. So, we'll keep an eye out for that. Now, something else we could talk about. I know Jay loves this, right, Jay, if you're listening. This is the recovery rates. And I talked to, when I interviewed Jay, he just wanted to make sure that people understand, it's basically the underlying, right? We're showing a recovery rate that's simply mostly based on how the underlying moves. And I think most of us do know that. Obviously, it's plus or minus the money that they make in options or lose in options. But for the most part, yeah, it's not all under their control because it's the underlying, which we know. But it's still fun to track the recovery rate, all right? Recovery rate. I hate saying that. Try to say that word like 50 times. Recovery rate. Yeah, anyway. So based on their last cycle, TSLY has recovered 260% of the prior distribution. OARK recovered 80%. GUI recovered 509%. Zomo negative 247%. So that's not good. That's why their payments sucked. YBIT negative 30%. SNOI negative 76%. And TSMY whoops some ass positive 390%. Crash, as usual, is crashing negative 484%. Look at them, $6.03. God, these freaking inverse funds, man. All right, up next is Group B. How are they recovering? Well, not good at all, actually. NVIDIA negative 57%, Phoebe positive 42%, JPMO negative 75%, Merne negative 40%, GDXY negative 229%, Platy negative 13%, and then we got, no, I'm sorry, wait, I skipped one. Babo, you're the negative one, all right? Babo negative 13%. I was gonna say Platy's kicking ass. There we go. Platy positive 267%. Unfortunately, Marrow is in the shitter at the moment. They don't have a recovery rate, but they're down $6.22 since they launched, which that's pretty bad. But Dips, they don't have a how the hell do they not have a recovery rate? Google AZ12. Yeah, AZ12 open. Okay. Yeah. price as of today, 022. Yeah. A22 price. Okay. So yeah, dips 0. I guess they're at the same price where they were ex dividend date, which is, I guess, better than negative. All right, up next is Group C, Nefli. I mean, Group C is all negative basically, except for Fiat. Fiat actually recovered 117%. Everything else is in the shitter. Nefli, Coney, MSFO, AMDY, PP, Abney, and Ulti, all negative recovery rate. So hopefully the next time I make this video, which is Sunday, we have better news for that. Group D, Aptly, 106% recovery rate, so awesome. AMZ, 45% recovery rate. Disso, 80% recovery rate. Recovery rate. Squee, 9% recovery rate. AIYY, negative 79% recovery rate. Misty, negative 12%. Ew. SMCY, positive 52% recovery. And YQQQ, negative 72%, which is awful. But it's a short fund, so what do you want? All right. Outside of that, what else we got going? Well, nothing. These are all the funds they filed. They're still just hanging out down here. What's next to come out? Maybe Robin the Hood? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's so many options. I keep telling Jay, just launch the Berkshire one. I think it'll do well. I know Berkshire Hathaway Fund, obviously it's not volatile, but it would bring some stability, even more stability to YMAX, which is cool. I know it'll lower the yield, everyone, but guys, we have a lot of volatility. It'd be cool to flatten it out, maybe get a Costco fund in there, something like that. I know they didn't file for Costco, but you know, most of us do want to see a Costco fund because Costco's awesome. I mean, isn't it? I mean, I just hate going there because it's freaking chaos, but in general, the store just does well. The store is a good store. They got good prices when you buy in bulk. But anyway, this is not a Costco commercial, but so that's pretty much it. Obviously, that's the update. I'll do a quick recap of what they're paying. Again, this is for Group A, today's declaration date. So yes, if you buy today and you hold until tomorrow, you will qualify for these distributions. What are the distributions? It's TSLY 128, 96% yield. OARK 32 cents, 38% yield. GUI 63 cents, 52% yield. Zomo 24 cents, 21% yield. YBIT 70 cents, 68% yield. SNOI 56 cents, 38% yield. TSMY 80 cents, 51% yield. And Crash, 37 cents, 79% yields. All right, guys, so that's the update on Group A. That's what they're going to pay on Monday. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you whatever? And what do you hold out of Group A? What is the best performing fund out of Group A? I know YBIT. Another thing I asked Jay, because haven't been checking. I'm like, when do you have YBIT add IBIT instead of freaking Bitto? And sure enough, they do have IBIT, so that's awesome. So hopefully YBIT. He also mentioned they need to do better on YBIT, so hopefully they will perform better in due time because, you know, crypto's volatile. Crypto's been mostly going up, so we would expect YBIT to do, you know, better, right? But either way, that's all I really got. So this is, again, second video in the morning today, but I'm off, so I'm able to get the distribution announcement earlier to you guys, which is awesome, right? It's awesome. I love doing that. Usually it's either at night or at lunch from home, but I'm doing it in the morning right away. So yeah, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again Sunday morning when we do the guesstimate for Group B, which is headlined by NVIDIA and others. But yeah, obviously Group B now has a lot of good hitters. NVIDIA, like Phoebe, Platy, and Marrow. So those are some heavy hitters there. So we'll see. But I'll make that video Sunday morning. All right, guys. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below. Outside of that, that's all I got. Again, this is not a keyword video because it's not a morning video. You know, it's not my 6:30 a.m. video, so I'm not going to make you do a keyword. But I will ask you, What funds do you own in Group A? And are you happy with the distribution within those funds, right? I don't think people are going to be happy about TSLY, but honestly, guys, 96%. I know people probably expected more, but still, 96% yield, you got to be happy. Plus, NAV reserve, man. It's all about that NAV reserve, baby. So the drop tomorrow, next dividend date, it won't be as painful as if they paid like $3, right? So it's all good, man. It's all good. All right, guys, I am out of here. I just want to say thank you for watching and have a great day. Later.